morning. Yeah, why don't you come on? Well, no, that's all right. That's all right.
Sure,
I guess
over here?
they have this
They
big
have
screen
full view
over
of your
here.
screen then.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We want to talk a little bit today about the South 13th Street Safe Improvement District. Nikki, how are you?
I'm great. Looking forward to what you have to say.
All right, well, let me start by introducing the people who are here with me today. Lonnie Berkland is the Assistant Director of Transportation. Mark Luterharms, our traffic engineer. Captain Michon Morrow with the Lincoln Police, and Chief Despain with Lincoln Fire and Rescue. They are all part of a team that keeps Lincoln safe. Our engineers, like Lonnie and Mark, work hard to design and build roads that flow smoothly and safely so that the first responders, under leaders like Captain Morrow and Chief Despain, have fewer crashes to respond to. Today I'm going to talk about this important traffic safety improvement project on 13th Street, and we're talking about the area of 13th Street between South Street on the south and Lincoln Mall on the north. The project will convert 13th Street from a 4-lane undivided street to a 3-lane street with a center turn lane, commonly called a 2+1. And we're doing this to improve safety and traffic flow. The project also includes enhanced crosswalks and the addition of bike lanes to increase safety and mobility for all users. As you can see on the screen, 13th Street from Lincoln Mall to South Street is currently an undivided 4-lane arterial street without turn lanes. This type of older design is no longer used when we build streets in Lincoln. In fact, this type of design is discouraged nationally as well, based on decades of study by the Federal Highway Administration. It is less safe in their opinion. Why? First, the lack of separation between ongoing lanes increases the risk of vehicle collisions. Second, in the current layout, drivers who want to turn left must stop in the travel lanes. Stopping in the travel lane is dangerous for 3 reasons. Cars stop to turn often get hit from behind. Cars often swerve to avoid the stopped car and cause collisions in the other lane. Cars turning have to cross 2 lanes of traffic and sometimes collide with a car traveling in the opposite direction. Regrettably, that's what we've seen happen on this portion of 13th Street. City Traffic Engineering did a detailed traffic analysis earlier this year. Over the past 5 years, 13th Street between Lincoln Mall and South Streets had 167 reported traffic crashes, and 70 of those were injury crashes where Lincoln Fire and Rescue was dispatched. This, in our opinion, is a traffic danger that should be addressed. Lincoln Traffic Engineering examined the type and cause of the crashes. That analysis shows that out of 167 crashes, converting the street to 3 lanes with a center turn lane, again, what we call a 2+1, could have prevented 54 of those crashes with no loss of traffic flow. could have prevented 54 of those crashes with no loss of traffic flow. That's an incredible jump in safety while still maintaining efficient transportation. So how does 2+1 do that? The answer is fairly simple. The 2+1 conversion moves turning traffic into the center lane and out of the travel lanes. When you do that, the total number of crashes drops nearly 30% because you have reduced dangerous events like sudden stops, unexpected turns, and swerving to change lanes that cause crashes and traffic delays. Expert analysis and scientific data show that we can make 13th Street dramatically safer with this change. In addition, the studies also prove that 3-lane conversion does not impede traffic flow. That's because when we create a turn lane and remove the stopped and turning cars from the travel lanes, the other traffic can flow along more smoothly and predictably. Here is an example on the screen, 13th Street between South and Van Doren, a different section of the same 13th Street between South and Van Doren, is already a 3-lane street with a center turn lane. How does it compare? It carries 40% more traffic, but has a 65% lower crash rate. That is such a clear-cut result that I want to repeat it again. A part of 13th Street to the south of the section and connecting to the section being at issue today is already a 2+1 carrying 40% more traffic, but has a 65% lower crash rate. Those numbers, in our opinion, are scientific proof of how 2+1 design works. Traffic flows, safety improves, and crashes go down. That's exactly what we intend to do for 13th Street closer to the downtown. So we were surprised to see a city council resolution introduced last week to stop this important safety project. It defies logic that anyone would want to stop improvements that can prevent crashes. This resolution, in our opinion, is reckless action that causes Lincoln drivers, bikers, and pedestrians to be in greater danger. Recall that 54 crashes could have been avoided with this design. How does this resolution, or what does this resolution say to the 54 families whose cars were crashed into and damaged, and what does it say to the 54 families risking injury to their loved ones? You can't say that it's somehow a necessary sacrifice to keep traffic moving. The science and engineering data prove otherwise. And you can't say that the improvements might not work. They are working now perfectly well on the same street just a few blocks to the south. Purposefully ignoring scientific studies and experts has very real and dangerous consequences. There are 3 elementary schools near this segment of 13th Street. Every day, many of those children walk or bike to the F Street Community Center, which is also on 13th Street. Our planned 2+1 3-lane conversion makes it safer for not only those children, but for the entire neighborhood. In addition, our safety project uses the redesigned street space to add bike lanes in both directions and enhances safety at pedestrian crossings. So, I want to thank everybody who attended a citywide open house to give input on this project. I also want to thank the South of Downtown community, along with the Near South and the Everett neighborhoods, those most directly affected, who have all extensively supported these improvements. The 13th Street Safety Project is designed specifically to give all the different users the appropriate space on which to travel safely and conveniently. Turning cars in the turn lane, flowing traffic in the traffic lane, bikes in the bike lane, and pedestrians crossing at well-marked crosswalks. That's how you increase safety, that's how you maintain traffic flow, and that's how you altogether improve the mobility on an urban street. And it's exactly what this project brings to the residents and to the businesses and to the commuters on this part of 13th Street. Keeping the public safe is the highest obligation of elected leaders. I think we all believe that. And that work must rely on expert analysis and scientific data. And in this world we live in today, a lot more of that data is available, telling us things that are sometimes counterintuitive and helping us with safety and traffic flow. We should not be basing things on guesswork, hunches, or something you might have seen on the internet. The proposed City Council resolution has no basis in fact. It does not help traffic flow. It simply keeps 13th Street dangerous. So I urge the council to reject this resolution that would stop important safety work. So, questions? By the way, Councilman Carl Eskridge is here today and is certainly welcome to come up here and say a few words if you would so like. But this is his district, I believe, right?
Yes, part of it.
Yeah, okay.
Would this be the first conversion from a 4-lane to 3-lane in Lincoln?
What's the historic pattern of that, if you know?
Yeah, certainly in my time, this would be the first proactive project in the last 4.5 years or so that I've been at the city that we've done a conversion. I would guess that we've done, more historically 3-lane improvement projects. The majority of those have probably been an increase from a 2-lane undivided stretch to a 3-lane where we've tried to add that center turn lane to improve safety.
We've done that on 56th Street.
Yeah, there's several of those stretches, 33rd and others.
From your guys' aspect, I mean, what is this going to do to free up some of your time if there's not as many accidents?
Sure, anytime that we're not responding to unnecessary calls, it frees up our time to give attention to other needs, safety needs in the city. And more importantly, we are very concerned about our youth that are frequently crossing 13th Street with 3 elementary schools in such a small area that is highly densely populated, a very vibrant, active community that is on foot on a regular basis. And we want to provide safety for them as they're trying to cross 13th Street for their events and school and other activities, especially at F Street Rec Center.
Do you think this will improve safety?
Absolutely.
Okay, good to go? Thank you for covering this for the people.
Thank you.
Thank you.